Get ready for the action because Ferrari dealerships across India are starting to take orders with a massive 30% price reduction. This incredible move is happening right now as the brand anticipates the upcoming India-EU free trade agreement. We dive deep into exactly which models are getting these steep discounts and what this means for Indian buyers right now. Tackle Ferrari's biggest gamble yet, the launch of the all-electric Ferrari Luce. Is this move a necessary evolution for the brand, or a risk to the core Ferrari DNA? Stay tuned to find out what this revolutionary vehicle will sound like, and if it will capture the hearts of true Ferraristas. Ferrari dealerships across India are reportedly accepting orders at 30% reduced prices, capitalizing on anticipated tariff reductions under the forthcoming India-EU Free Trade Agreement, FTA. This proactive measure is driven by the FTA's provisions, which are set to significantly lower import duties on European cars priced above €15,000, equivalent to approximately Rs 16.82 lakh, from 110% down to 35% in the first year and 10% in subsequent years. The India-EU agreement is expected to take effect in 2027. Given that Ferrari deliveries in India typically require over 6 months, dealers are leveraging this timeline to secure orders at the projected price drops. However, these discounts will not apply to vehicles delivered before the FTA's implementation date. Currently, Ferrari retails 6 models in the Indian market, including the 296 GTB, 296 GTS, 12-cylinder coupe, 12-cylinder Spider, 849 Testarossa, and Purisang. While the Amalfi is slated for launch later this year, bookings are already being taken for it at an indicated price of Rs 5.59 crore. Crucially, due to uncertainty surrounding the tariff cuts for hybrid vehicles under the FTA, only pure petrol Ferrari models, the Purisang, 12-cylinder coupe, 12-cylinder Spider, and the Amalfi, are eligible for the 30% price reduction off their current ex-showroom figures. This translates to substantial savings for potential buyers. Specific price reductions include the Purisang, expected to drop from Rs 10.5 crore to an estimated Rs 7.35 crore, marking a reduction of Rs 3.15 crore. The 12-cylinder Spider, expected to be lowered from Rs 9.15 crore to Rs 6.4 crore. The 12-cylinder coupe, expected to reduce from Rs 8.5 crore to Rs 5.95 crore. The Amalfi, anticipated to drop to Rs 3.91 crore. These figures remain estimates, contingent upon the finalization of the India-EU FTA details and fluctuations in the EUR-INR exchange rate. Buyers ordering pure petrol Ferraris will receive delivery only after the FTA specifics are finalized. Furthermore, Ferrari is better positioned to benefit from the tariff cuts than its rival, Lamborghini, which has ceased selling pure petrol models. It is important to note that the FTA does not permit reductions in EV import duties for the initial 5 years, meaning Ferrari's forthcoming electric model, the Luce, will face the full scope of import duties if introduced within that timeframe. Ferrari NV has announced the completion of the second tranche of its multi-year share buyback program, reinforcing the company's commitment to its capital structure goals. In a periodic report released on May 18, 2026, Ferrari confirmed the purchase of a €250 million tranche, as previously announced on April 10, 2026. This purchase is part of a larger, multi-year program projected to execute approximately €3.5 billion in share buybacks by 2030. The second tranche represents additional common shares acquired on both the Euronext Milan, EXM, and the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. The report details the progress of the program since its inception on January 5, 2026. As of May 15, 2026, the company held 17,732,008 common shares in treasury, net of shares assigned under the Equity Incentive Plan, which equates to 9.14% of the total issued common shares. Including special voting shares, the treasury holdings represented 9.49% of the total issued share capital. The report clarified that the cancellation of treasury shares, approved by the annual general meeting of shareholders on April 15, 2026, has not yet been finalized and is not reflected in these figures. Since the program began, Ferrari has purchased a total of 1,197,782 own common shares on both exchanges, including transactions involving sell to cover. The total consideration for these purchases amounts to €351,834,224.51. A comprehensive overview of all transactions executed under the buyback program, along with detailed transaction information, is accessible on Ferrari's corporate website under the buyback programs section. Ferrari Media Relations can be contacted via email at media@ferrari.com for further inquiries. Ferrari has bolstered its share repurchase program, confirming that it now holds 9.1% of its shares in treasury following recent buybacks. This activity is part of a larger, multi-year initiative aimed at returning capital to shareholders, totaling approximately €3.5 billion by 2030. In a recent update, Ferrari announced the progress of its €250 million second tranche share buyback, which was part of the broader program disclosed during the 2025 Capital Markets Day. Between May 11 and 15, 2026, the company repurchased 97,327 shares for a total consideration of €27,238,473.18, averaging €279.8655 per share. Since the launch of the second tranche on May 15, 2026, Ferrari has invested €81.26 million on the Euronext Milan Exchange, EXM, and USD 11.5 million on the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. Cumulatively, since January 5, 2026, the overall share buyback program has acquired 1,197,782 common shares for a total consideration of €351,834,224.51. As of May 15, 2026, the company held 17,732,008 common shares in treasury, which represents 9.14% of the total issued common shares. Including special voting shares, the treasury holdings amounted to 9.49% of the total issued share capital. The report noted that the cancellation of treasury shares, approved by the annual general meeting of shareholders on April 15, 2026, has not yet been finalized and is not reflected in these figures. Further details regarding the transactions under the buyback program are accessible on Ferrari's corporate website under the buyback programs section. Ferrari is launching its first all-electric vehicle, the Luce, marking a significant gamble for the iconic marque. The vehicle, a four-door saloon powered by 4 electric motors and a 122 kWh battery, is set to debut next week. This move directly challenges the brand's historical identity, rooted deeply in its legendary internal combustion engines. The Luce's design, handled by the creative partnership Love From, is intentionally eschewing traditional touchscreens in favor of physical switches and dials, aiming to recapture the tactile pleasure of classic motoring. Despite its name meaning, light, early speculation suggests the car could weigh up to 2,300 kilograms. However, the vehicle is expected to deliver impressive performance, boasting instant torque and 1,000 horsepower, capable of rapid acceleration. The central question facing Ferrari and its enthusiasts is whether a purely electric Ferrari can retain its allure. Industry observers and collectors remain skeptical, citing the visceral thrill and auditory experience of a powerful engine as crucial to the Ferrari mystique. Some collectors argue that the buzz surrounding high-performance combustion engines is indispensable to the brand's desirability, questioning if silence can replace the sound of a roaring V12. Ferrari's legacy is built on engineering excellence, with 90% of its produced cars still on the road, a testament to the durability of its mechanical pedigree. However, the poor resale value of some electric vehicles is cited as a major concern that could impact the long-term appeal of the Luce. Despite reservations, Ferrari views the EV as a necessary evolution, echoing Enzo Ferrari's philosophy that the best Ferrari ever made is the next one. The Luce will benefit from being built entirely at the Maranello factory, utilizing proprietary technology and featuring a modular battery design. While the market will be divided between purists and those interested in technological disruption, Ferrari is positioning the Luce as a bold, necessary step forward in its enduring pursuit of excellence.